I'll discuss a very useful concept on variable mass, and it is very important for your JEE, especially the advanced. Means the concepts which I have put in this problem will be exhaustive, and the problem which variable mass problems which generally come will be easier than this. So this should be a master kind of concept. We are given there is a piston and its mass is m0 to start with. The piston's own mass of piston this is the mass of piston is m0, but this piston is now moving in a cloud of gas particles. These are the gas particles, and gas particles are also moving with certain velocity v, which is constant. So this is constant, but the piston which is moving is not moving with a constant velocity. It started moving at t is equal to 0, velocity of piston was 0, but it is moving under a constant force. So there is a constant force which is being applied to the piston. Piston moves like this, and gas particles, when they strike the piston, they stick to the piston. So they keep on, basically the mass of piston keeps on increasing. That is one concept in this problem. To do such problems, simply let me take a 2D picture, and at certain instant let me draw the diagram. And this is the cloud at a distance dx. Cloud is there all through. It is later on also at further distance beyond dx also there is a cloud, but now this is a piston, and I have taken a certain part of cloud to analyze the problem. So this distance is dx, and you have a cloud, and all the particles are moving with v. So this boundary also moves with velocity v. At every layer is moving with velocity v, so all through you have velocity v. The cross section area here is, say, S, or you can take A as the cross section area. The piston, at certain instant, this is at instant t. At t is equal to 0, piston was not moving at all, it started moving. So we have reached a certain instant. Such problem you have to do at a particular instant t. Always take a particular instant t. This is my piston at that instant, and it is moving with velocity u. U is variable. Piston is moving with velocity u. So this part of piston is moving with velocity u. The face of piston is also moving with velocity u. Force is constant on the piston, and the mass of piston be m. M is variable. Initial mass was m0, means at t is equal to 0, m is equal to m0 and u is equal to 0. This is the initial condition which is given. Now just see this boundary, these two boundaries you see. One is the face of the piston. Such problems always try to take this picture. One is this piston which is there, or it can be a wall, it can be anything. These are the two boundaries we have to define in the distance dx. Now what will be dx upon dt? How dx upon dt is changing? With what velocity these two layers are coming towards each other? The boundary which I have fixed and the boundary of the piston. The relative velocity here is v plus u. That is very crucial point, very important point here. So dx upon dt is v plus u, where v is constant and u is variable, x is also variable. There are a lot of variables in this problem. So one relationship I have got. Now let this mass be dm of this gas which was lying in dx, and in time dt this whole dm sticks to m, which happens. So at time t, this is the situation. At time t plus dt, let me look at the whole thing together. So this mass is m plus dm, and let it be moving with velocity u plus du. This whole mass is now part of the piston. It is stuck to the piston, and piston is now having mass m plus dm, and it is moving with a velocity u plus du. So this part is my system which I am considering. System boundary has to be drawn very clearly in such problems. Now don't change the system boundary between t and dt. System boundary has to remain the same. means this m plus dm, m plus dm, now it is together. What is the momentum, initial momentum? Let this direction be x and this direction be y. What is the momentum, initial momentum in x direction? Because force is in that direction, whatever is the direction of force, take the momentums in that direction. So P initial in direction of x is how much? The momentum of this part is mu, very simple, and momentum of this part is minus v dm, because this whole part, this cloud is moving with a velocity v and mass is dm, but it is moving in minus x direction, so this is the initial momentum. What is the final momentum in x direction? These things you will not find in books in that great detail. I have tried to break it in certain steps so that it becomes easier for you to remember and solve the problems. Now final momentum in x direction is given by this. System boundary remains the same, only thing is at t it had certain momentum, at t plus dt it has certain momentum which is different from the initial momentum. What is this? It is m plus dm into u plus du. What is dm? Dm is, what is the value of this dm? Is volume into the density. What is the volume? Volume is dx into a dx into rho. This is the value of my dm. And what is dm upon dt? Is very simple, it is a rho dx upon dt is v plus u. So I've got another variable. I will write the value of v plus u here as 1 upon a rho. I'll use it later on, dm upon dt. These are some important relationships which you keep on getting in such problems. You have to just note it down. Now, what is the force acting on the system? Force remains the same. So force is change in momentum dp upon dt or dp upon dt, or I write force as final momentum in x direction minus initial momentum in x direction upon dt. Dt is the time which has elapsed between these two situations, so time is dt, and this is the force which is acting, and this is force in x direction. Please be careful, whatever direction you have taken of the force, these have to be written in that direction, and then this formula has to be applied. Now let us see what is the value of fx. Fx comes as fx into dt will be equal to, this is mu plus m du plus u dm plus dm du minus p initial x is minus mu and plus vdm, because it is minus p initial x and it is mu minus vdm, so minus mu plus vdm. Mu gets cancelled. This is dm and du. This is a very small quantity in such problems. Dm into du is generally neglected, so I ignore it. So fx into dt is equal to m du plus u dm plus vdm. This is one relationship I have got. Now this is constant. Let me, this, whenever in integral you have a differential equation or integral form, you have such kind of relationship, it can be simply written as dmu. It is m du, u dm, both are variables, so write differential of mu is m du plus u dm, it is v dm, and it is fx into dt. Now I integrate it. F is constant, this is constant, t is variable, and this is variable. Let mu be certain quantity, mu be certain quantity as z. So I write fx dt is equal to dz plus v dm. So it becomes fx into t. I integrate is equal to z. Z is nothing but mu plus v is constant m plus some constant say b. Now this is the most important relationship we have got. I have to find how the mass of the system is varying or how the velocity is varying. You can find various things, how distance is varying. But first of all, to find those things, you have to understand the basic elements of the steps. This relationship which is required to come. Now at t is equal to 0, this becomes 0. What is the value of mu at t is equal to 0? U was 0, this is 0. V was V only and m is m0 plus b. So value of b is minus vm0. So I write it fxt plus vm0 is equal to mu plus v is the relationship which I have got. Now just see what is the value of u plus v and dm upon dt. So I get u plus v is 1 upon rho a dm upon dt. So I get rho a fx into t plus vm0 into dt is equal to m dm. So I have got a very simple relationship which I can integrate. M is varying from m0 to m and t is varying from 0 to t. So I get rho a fx t square upon 2 plus rho a vm0 into t. vm0 into t is equal to m square upon 2 from m0 to m. I get m square minus m0 square upon 2. So you just simplify it and you will get the value of m in terms of m0. So it is now relationship is rho a fx t square plus twice rho a vm0 into t plus m0 square is equal to m square. So value of m is square root m0 square plus rho a fx t square plus twice rho a vm0 into t. I hope it is the same relationship which we have to prove. The mass of the piston is varying with this relationship. Now you can use this relationship further to find how the velocity is varying. That part I leave to you because the lecture becomes very lengthy. This up to this part is the most crucial part where you find relationship of mass in terms of t. It is m0 square rho a fx or f whatever into t. Fx means f in direction of x. T square plus twice rho a m0v into t. Yes, so we have got the correct relationship, and the remaining part you can solve on your own. Like this part, if I rub it slightly, I rub this part. Let me try to indicate what are the other parts which are remaining. You get fx t plus vm0 upon m is equal to u plus v. So u is equal to minus v plus fx means f in direction of x, fx t plus vm0 upon m. This is the relationship you have got. Put the value of m there, so you get value of u as minus v plus f into t plus vm0 divide by value of m. M is nothing but m0 square plus rho a f t square plus twice rho a vm0 t. Just recheck the values slightly. If there is some here and there is some marginal error, but the concept, this is the key part in the whole process. This part is the key part.